3 mistakes that make your ex lose all respect for you. 3 slips, 1 fall, and suddenly you're the guy she forgot. You know the scene. She ends it on a Sunday, says she needs space. By Tuesday, she's at a rooftop in Miami on her friend's story, a new arm around her waist. You're staring at your phone like it owes you answers. Paragraphs at 2 a.m. that you delete, then send. A drunk call after the Yankees game. Walking past her favorite Starbucks by accident, praying for a run-in. She blocks you for peace and you feel small, humiliated, out of frame. That's the part no one says out loud. It's not just the breakup, it's losing her respect. Once respect is gone, you're background noise. This video is the correction. I'm going to break down the psychology of respect after a breakup, and the 3 fatal errors that erase it. You'll understand why chasing kills attraction, why public loss of composure buries your value, and why trying to buy her back only proves she made the right call. I'll hand you a clear plan. The first 30 days, the rules of distance, and how to rebuild gravity, quietly, decisively, like a man who sets the tone. Subscribe now if you're done bleeding dignity. In the first pinned comment, I left a no-nonsense guide to deepen this. A post-breakup discipline checklist, daily routine, and mindset drills to lock your frame. Take a seat. Breathe. This is business. Respect is currency. You don't beg for it, you command it. But first, we stop the leak. What's the number 1 behavior that tells her instantly she made the right choice leaving? And how do you kill it today? Neediness. You chase. You convert absence into a stage for desperation. You flood her phone with essays. You explain feelings she didn't ask to audit. You beg for a meeting just to talk. That one behavior confirms the breakup like a notarized stamp. You teach her you're available on demand. A man who chases signs the receipt of his own irrelevance. You think proximity is power, so you orbit. You watch every story from a burner account. You haunt the same bar in the East Village by coincidence. You drive past her block in Hoboken just to glimpse a parked car. That's not romance. That's erosion. You drain your mystery until there's nothing left to wonder about. Respect dies where predictability lives. You trade dignity for dopamine. After the Yankees game and 2 IPAs too many, you hit call. Midnight. Voicemail. You confess. You negotiate. You promise change with a slur in your voice. She wakes up to a 9-part opera and a missed call. Your frame just filed for bankruptcy. A man who bleeds on the phone dies in her mind. You try to buy back respect with gestures. Flowers to her office. A DoorDash latte the way you like it. Tickets to the concert you once planned together. You call it effort. She reads it as acceptance of demotion. She left, and you're still delivering. That exchange rate never favors you. You accept the soft landing. We can still be friends, she says, and you nod because you think closeness is a bridge back. It's a downgrade. It's a waiting room with no appointment. You become the on-call therapist while another man gets the romance. You don't take pay cuts in your own life. You don't audition for the role you already played as the lead. You explain yourself in public. You post subtweets. You put cryptic lyrics on your story. You look wounded on purpose, hoping empathy brings her back. It brings pity. Respect doesn't breathe around pity. Silence is a better suit than a public meltdown. A man's calm is his cologne. So what does restraint buy you that chasing never could? Scarcity. Gravity. People respect what withdraws and returns on its own terms. When you vanish, the nervous system does the work for you. She checks, she wonders, she tests. Human nature chases what it cannot fully hold. But you don't vanish to manipulate. You vanish to recover the throne inside your own head. Listen to a small story from Queens. Marco, 29, electrician, Mets cap, and calloused hands. His girl ended it on a rainy Friday outside a diner on Steinway. He did all the textbook wrong for a week, watched every story, walked by her Pilates studio, sent a, "Please, we can fix this." She blocked him. He felt tiny. The next Sunday, he went to his uncle's garage to help replace a transmission and got the only counsel he needed. Stop talking, start building. He cleared the apartment of souvenirs, boxed the hoodie she loved, wiped the chat, and put his phone in a drawer from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. every night. He lifted heavy at a no-frills gym in Long Island City, started taking early jobs for overtime, ate steak and eggs instead of skipping breakfast, shaved the beard, cut his hair tight, upgraded boots that matched his work. He called 3 friends he'd neglected and hooped on Saturdays at Astoria Park. Week 3, she texted from a new number. "Hope you're okay." He saw it, breathed, and went back to tightening a wire nut. No reply for 2 days. When he did respond, it was clean and polite. No heat, no defense. She asked to talk. He offered one time next week, early evening, public, 45 minutes. When they met, she expected the old boy in panic. She got a man in command. He listened. He didn't pitch. He didn't perform. He left first. 2 months later, she wanted back. Marco had a new crew, a new contract, and a new standard. Not angry, not vengeful, just unavailable. Unreachable is not rude when it's a byproduct of purpose. What flips the switch like that? Codes. Not feelings, rules. You don't text first when your hands are shaking. You don't negotiate romance after it's been revoked. You give distance without a tracking number. You do not accept friendship with someone you still want. You keep your word to yourself as if it were a court order. These aren't tactics, they're identity. When a man lives by code, the world recalibrates around him. You might ask, but if I don't do anything, won't I lose her forever? Wrong question. The frame is not, how do I get her back? It's, how do I get myself back? What happens after that is downstream. Counterintuitive truth. When you stop chasing validation, you become the validation. That's when respect returns to the room, whether she does or not. There's a psychology at play you cannot ignore. Attention rewards behavior. You train her with your response. Cry, plead, overshare. She learns you're easy to influence. Go silent, get busy, return composed. She learns you cannot be moved off your mission. Respect follows the man who respects his time. Attraction tolerates uncertainty. It dies of certainty. You don't remove all the unknowns. You let mystery live. Reset. Ask yourself, what would the man I admire do tonight? Would he react to a 1 a.m. hey with paragraphs? He would sleep. Would he keep her in his digital eyeline? He would mute, unfollow, or block and reclaim his focus. Would he look for her car on Smith Street? He would look for the next skill to sharpen, the next plate to add to the bar, the next deal to close. Replace surveillance with self-surveillance. Audit your habits like a CFO. The numbers won't lie. Let me make this plain in the language of New York streetlights and Midwest mornings. You do not chase a person who walked away. You chase your potential until it's hard to catch. You do not perform pain for the internet. You carry it to the iron and burn it. You do not give loyalty to a decision that removed you. You give loyalty to the future that needs you. This isn't bitterness, it's leadership. And if she reaches out, calm is your answer key. You respond when it suits your schedule. You keep it brief, warm, but neutral. You do not revisit the breakup on text. You do not meet spontaneously at midnight. You create boundaries she can see and standards she can feel. Paradox. The less you try to persuade, the more persuasive you become. Why? Because truth sits heavy, performance is light and noisy. Understand the trap of friendly proximity one more time. We can be friends is a security blanket for the person who chose to leave. It keeps you available without the cost of commitment. You are not a lounge. You are a door. It opens or it closes. Ambiguity is where your respect goes to die. If romance is off the table, you step away from the table. Gracefully, firmly, no tantrum, no speech, just a man choosing his setting. Here are the laws you live by when the dust is fresh. No contact isn't a trick, it's self-respect. Silence isn't empty, it's leverage. You never chase after a goodbye. You don't explain standards, you enforce them. You never accept demotion in your own life. Stamp these on your week and watch how quickly chaos loses its appetite for you. One more reset. Picture her scrolling and not seeing you. Picture you moving. Clean room, tight schedule, sweat on the floor, money in the bank, eyes on your mission. What happens when her curiosity meets your absence? What happens when your name returns to rooms you actually care about? The power shifts. Not because she's punished, but because you're present, finally, in your own story. We're not done. In a moment, you'll get the exact framework for the first 30 days, the precise distance rules that rebuild gravity, and the single sentence that restores frame if she knocks. Stay with me. The conclusion is next, and it will deliver the verdict you've been avoiding, and the sentence you'll live by. Here's the verdict you've been avoiding, and the sentence you'll live by. Neediness was the crime. Discipline is the sentence. You stop chasing today, you start building tonight. The first 30 days, clean and exact. Days 1-3, purge, box the souvenirs, delete the thread, mute, unfollow or block. No orbiting, no burner accounts. Phone in a drawer from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Sleep hard, gallon of water, heavy lifts, long walks, no alcohol, no late night confessions. Days 4 to 7, order your world. Clean the apartment like a habit, not a moment. Time block 3 priorities per day. Groom tight. Audit money, cancel her haunts. Call 2 solid friends and say yes to plans that involve sweat or work. Week 2. Pressure your potential. Train 4 times. Add overtime or another client. Learn 1 skill for 60 minutes daily. 1 social event with your people. No breakup autopsies. Eat like a grown man. Dress like you mean business. Week 3. Expand your territory. Reconnect with family, mentor, or coach. Start a project that scares you a little. Deep work blocks. 0 surveillance. If her name comes up, you change the subject and move your feet. Week 4. Audit and adjust. Measure sleep, lifts, money, focus. Set next month's targets. If she pings, you follow the protocol below. If not, you keep moving. Availability is earned, not given. Distance rules that rebuild gravity. No contact is minimum 30 days. No exceptions, no social performances, no subtweets, no drip-fed lyrics. Silence over spectacle. No stalking routes. You do not accidentally appear at her cafe, gym, or block. If you cross paths, you're calm, polite, brief. You leave first. You reply only to clear logistics and only when you're centered. Delay is power. No midnight meetups. No nostalgia calls. No gifts. No grand gestures. You decline the downgrade. We can be friends means we can be done. Choose distance with grace. Your schedule is the bouncer. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen. Protect the unknown. You show results, not rehearsals. The single sentence that restores frame if she knocks. If you're reaching out to genuinely reconcile, we can talk next week at a set time. If not, I'm keeping my distance. I don't do friendship after a breakup. Short, clean, unshakable. It places the terms on the table without a speech. It respects both sides while protecting your standard. Now stamp the laws. Dry, final, non-negotiable. No contact is self-respect. Silence is leverage. You never chase after a goodbye. You enforce standards. You don't explain them. You do not accept emotion in your own life. Calm over chaos. Work over words. Door, not lounge. Scarcity beats neediness. Mission first, always. Understand what killed respect in the first place. You chased. You bled in public. You tried to buy back value with flowers and favors. You took the soft landing of friend like a pay cut. That's over. This is commerce, not theater. Respect pays men who protect their time and their frame. Look in the mirror tonight under the bathroom light, not the phone glow. Ask yourself one question. If a camera followed me for 24 hours, would it capture a man in command? Or a man waiting by a door that already closed? If the answer stings, good. Pain is data. Convert it to weight on the bar, hours on the craft, money in the bank, peace in your head. One word to carve into your week. Standard. Not hers. Yours. If this verdict was the punch you needed, subscribe. Hit like so this message outranks the noise. Drop a comment with the code you're enforcing this week. No contact, silence is leverage, or door not lounge. And then go prove it offline. Final decree. American and absolute. Build. Don't beg. That's the order.